Well, as the violence and looting hit the capital too, Police Minister Barry Bateman has headed to Mamelodi to see the aftermath of the destruction. Let's cross to Barry Bateman, who is there with the Police Minister now. Barry, I know that you were at that Justice Cluster briefing with the Minister yesterday. You're out in Mamelodi today. And let me just preface with what I'm going to say to you with this. I am very reluctant to go headlong into criticizing state structures without having a nuanced approach. But one has to wonder, when the police say that they have had intelligence on the ground, when state security said they were well prepared for this, not only did the police let down in the past 3 days, but shop owners, where were those boots on the ground? It looked like there was no intelligence, but for the footage we were showing on television screens.
Yeah, quite right, eNCA. It is certainly a concern, listening to the State Security Minister, Dlodlo, as well, saying that they did their part. They handed over all the relevant intelligence to the police services, crime intelligence apparently doing their work as well. Barry Bateman saying they reacted to it. Their explanation for not seeing what's happening on the ground is that there's a lot that you're not seeing, a lot that's not happening on the televisions, attacks that have been thwarted elsewhere, and that kind of involvement. But it's certainly no comfort for those many shop owners and business owners who have lost everything. I mean, I'm standing in the Mamelodi Mall here in the east of Mamelodi, east of Tshwane, which was under the last 2 nights come under significant attack. And what we're speaking to security guards that are here, and they're talking about repeat attacks. These are crowds that are coming that, you know, they hit the place and then they'll move to another section of the mall to try and break into the entrance. Fortunately, they have managed to get a control of this, but it hasn't stopped, though, on that first night that they did manage to get in there. And I'm just going to step out of camera for a second, then you can look behind me as to how the ShopRite Checkers has been barricaded now to try and stop people in. The place is littered with glass, other debris, and if I ask just eNCA to pan here to the right of us, and we can look down into the mall, and this is where more of the shops are, you can see those are boxes of shoes and other items that have been stolen from the shops and just dumped over here. So it's a massive cleanup operation that is underway this morning here at the Mamelodi Mall. Police Minister Barry Bateman, he popped in just to get a briefing from the centre management here. And you know, one of the things that the centre manager was explaining was that, like the ShopRite, like the Capitec and so on, these are big businesses. But there are many in this particular mall that are owned by local people, people who live in this community, who have invested their savings and the like into their little franchise or something like that to make a living. And it's those people that they are the most worried about, that could suffer the most from this destruction. But on that particular issue, eNCA, and we're going to talk back about the intelligence aspect of it. And I asked the question yesterday to Dlodlo and the Minister as well about this talk of former State Security Agency officials who might be involved or instigating the violence. Well, the Minister is saying today, he says the looting is a smokescreen. He says what they're thwarting as well is attacks on hospitals. That is not normal looting, what the Minister says. They're talking about attacks on key infrastructure. When a facility not just gets looted, but then afterwards it gets burnt. This is a scorched earth policy. And I put it to him that we're dealing with here are these crimes against the state? And the Minister conceded that it does certainly appear like that. When is there going to be action? He says that those structures within the law enforcement authorities are seized with that, and he says it is a priority.
Barry, thanks so much. Yes, there has been talk about words such as subversion and even domestic terrorism. We'd have to see what the particulars of that are. But Barry Bateman there in Mamelodi at that mall, which you can see has been completely trashed. Well, still ahead.